Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I am going to continue reading the book Galactic Humans. Regenerating Worlds. Among the many scintillating stars in the blue canopy of the sky, how many worlds there are like yours, destined by God to serve atonement and probation. But although there are some that are more miserable, there are also others that are happier, like those of transition, which can be called worlds of regeneration. Each planetary vortex, moving in space round a common center, drags with its own primitive worlds of exile, probation, regeneration, and happiness. We have spoken to you of worlds where newly born spirits are placed, when they are still ignorant of both good and evil, but where they have the possibility of traveling towards God, being in possession of themselves through free will. We have also revealed to you the fact that ample facilities are given to each soul to enable it to practice good. But alas, there are those who succumb. So, God, who does not desire their annihilation, perhaps that they go to these worlds where from one incarnation to another they are purified and regenerated, returning worthy of the glory for which they were destined. Regenerating worlds serve as transition phases between those of probation and happiness. The penitent soul finds calm and rest on them and can continue the purifying process. Beyond doubt, man still finds himself subject to the laws that rule matter. Humanity still experiences your sensations and desires, but is liberated from the ungoverned passions to which you are slaves, freed from pride, which silences the heart, envy which tortures, and hate which suffocates. On all sides, the word love is written. Perfect equity resides over all social relationships. Everyone recognizes God and tries to travel in His direction by fulfilling His laws. However, perfect happiness still does not exist in these worlds, only the dawning of happiness. There man is still of flesh and blood, and because of this subject to vicissitudes from which only the completely dematerialized beings are liberated. He still has to suffer test, although without the pungent anguishes of atonement. Compared to Earth, these worlds are very pleasant, and many of you would be happy to inhabit them, because they represent the calm after the storm. Nevertheless, being less absorbed by material things, man perceives the future better, comprehends the existence of other pleasures, promised by God to those who show themselves worthy when death has once again released them from their bodies in order to bestow upon them the true life. Free then, the soul hovers above all the horizons, no longer the feelings of gross matter, only the sensation of a pure and celestial pure spirit, absorbing emanations direct from God, in the fragrance of love and charity coming straight from His breast. But alas, man is still fallible even in these worlds, and the spirit of evil has not completely lost its empire. Not to advance is to fall back, and if man is not firmly placed along the pathway to righteousness, he may return again to a world of atonement, where new and more terrible tests await. So at night, at the time of prayer and repose, contemplate the full canopy of the sky and the innumerable spheres which shine over your head, and ask yourself which ones lead to God, and ask Him for one of these regenerating worlds to open to receive you after your atonement here on earth. Preface. Now that you have a very good understanding about the progression of the soul through the process of a number of embodiments to perfect itself morally and intellectually in planets that resonate with each individual's particular state of being, let us visit together some details as they are related to the story of this book. It is known that I, Jefferson VIscardi, co-author with the medium Rob Gauthier, have the zest to understand and share my findings about the subject hereby presented in the purest possible way with those who are as excited as I have always been to learn more about the variety of ways, shapes, places, and times life can express itself. Every serious student will by the force of reason and personal integrity neither criticize or judge hazardly a material of this caliber. On the other hand, it would be immature and inconsequential for any of us to demand others to see what their inner eyes have yet not developed the necessary mechanisms to unveil. Many are not ready to see more than that which isn't necessarily in the pure view of their field of action and reaction. To those, time will talk. Through a process better known as psychophony, where the entity uses the phonetic organs of the medium who is more or less unconscious during the channeling, depending on each individual and sometimes also on circumstances. I have spoken to Treb through the mediumship of Rob, This fellow extraterrestrial being is an evolved soul embodied in a planet of love and light of reptilian humanoids. We have written a book with him and his society as well, so if you feel inclined to know more about him and his planet, don't hesitate to look up benevolent hybrid reptilian humans. There are indeed too many inhabited worlds, schoolrooms to name or number, and we have particularly focused on communicating with those who look primarily exactly like us and who exist spread out throughout this and other galaxies. The human template used by the souls to stage in each of these planets have been perfected according to the collective level of spiritual growth, and also the conditions presented by each planet mechanisms in what refers to the inner organs and reproduction rituals. Presentations aside, Treb, who also functions in the capacity of a spiritual guide to the medium, have made the connections possible to each of the human races, all more advanced than our own. These benevolent beings who so graciously agreed to donate a little of their time and wisdom in order to share with us what is life like in their planets, from where moral imbalances such as wrath, greed, sloth, pride, lust, envy, or gluttony, or any feeling of disconnection from self to others no longer plagues one's society. I am delighted to preface to you this book as a victor who conquered the Everest mountain of extraterrestrial intelligent life research, and I am sure my partner in service feels excited. I am truly humbled for having found favor amongst these races to be worthy of their attention and object of their kindness. I am excited to be given the opportunity to know their processes and to be authorized to fully share what I heard and discovered, word by word, in this transcribed material with you in our world. I wish you an unforgettable, fulfilling journey of expansion from which there is usually no return. All right. Now, most of these names are difficult to pronounce, so I will do my best. First race, Manila humans. Their planet is Hadamini. Their lifespan is 500 years. They're about 5'5", average 5 feet, 5'5". And the spokesperson is Lawarni. Age is 225 years old. Here we go. Hello, Jefferson. Yes, who are you? My name is Lironi. Where do you come from? I come from a system, a constellation that your race knows to be Cassiopeia. Right, and what is the name of your planet? The name of the planet that we have is a name that is not translatable in your tongue, but the best representation is Hadamani. Okay, and do you have a solar system like we do? No, it is quite different from yours. We have 2 stars instead of 1. Some of the planets that we have are around one, some are around the other, and more are around both of them. Whoa, awesome. So how many are around this first star? Well, let's start from the smallest star. There are 5 planets on the smallest star. The smallest one is a class of star that your people call red dwarf. There are 5 planets on this. On the next star is one that is closer to the kind of star that you are from. Smaller white yellowish star, slightly smaller than yours, and around this one there are 13. Oh, whoa, and which one is your planet with? I am one that is from a planet that goes around both stars. There are 2 of those. Okay, I didn't know that. That is great. Why is it that the other planets don't go around 2 stars and these 2 go? Any special reason? No, it is only the way that our solar system is formed in the early environments. In the early environments, there are some that were further out. One of the ones, the other one, not the one that we come from. But the other one was thrown out in a gravitational tug-of-war in an early environment from the star that is same as yours. Thanks. What do you look like? We look very much like your race. The only difference is that our skin is very dark, in between maybe the African tribes and perhaps the Spanish people, somewhere in between. And how long do you live in your physical body? About 500 years. And how old are you? I am 223 years old. Oh, okay, understood. And what density are you guys in? We are one that comes over the 4th threshold. We are starting to integrate more of the mind and consciousness into the 4th density. It has only been 3 generations since a full transition into the 4th density. So to what we understand to many other races that we meet is that we are still very young at this. I see. What do you know about Earth? I know what I've heard from many other races. There are many Palladian members that always connect that are very similar to the way that we all look. We heard many rumors. Some of them I am not so very sure, because when you look at a perspective, you must see it within your own eyes. You cannot take another's viewpoint to be your truth, and this is why I have been very interested to speaking to you. Oh, thank you very much for coming forth. Thank you for speaking to me, and to the race as well. How many people are there on your planet? About 49 million. That is a lot, not a lot. That is is your planet as big as ours? Approximately half the size of your planet from the understanding of how big it is. And do you have government there? No, it is a society of sharing and giving others what they are in lack of. And it is a community. The word that your race would use to most accurately describe would be a communism or free trade. Trade is not the right word. Jefferson said, I know a good name. A resource-based economy. He said, that fits well. That is what we are looking forward to experience in our future if possible. Do you guys have sense of humor? Yeah, it is slightly different from yours. Our humor is based on enjoyment instead of wordplay. Maybe perhaps because the language is so different. Right. Are your constructions in any way similar to ours? The still constructed places that you say are skyscrapers would be most accurately describing the complexity of the house, even though we don't make it the same way. It is very similar to this. We are all living in two main areas of our planet all together. Oh, I see. And for the education, how do you educate people? There is a set way. Once we are born, we are going through every family member that we have, connecting to them, learning everything they have learned, and once 20 years is by, then we go to a center point in the town and we collect information from many people who are designated to teach it. And once we do this, we learn very many things for about 10 years or more, and after this, then we go to study whatever we wish to do for the rest of our race. Perhaps a specialty school is how you would see it. And how are you born? Do you go over pregnancy like we do? Yes, it is exactly the same reproductive style that your race carries. Sexual activity, waiting for female to get birth, I'm assuming he means give birth, after about 2 years in the womb. It is approximately 2 of your years. Once the child is born, it is born fairly small, and it grows for some time. Probably it reaches full size at around 30 or 35 years. And does it stay around parents, or does it belong to the community? It integrates with society as we all do, but it stays with its family for its whole life. In certain areas of the town are many, generations after generations of family, and they all live in the same area and communicate. Family is something that we find very important to us. It is our tool of growth. Our family is what helps us understand the ways of our people, and also the ways that are best to integrate our own consciousness with the rest of the planet. So important in this is to stay and remain with your family and to give them great love and spend great time with them. How do you see the idea of God? We see your thought on God as varying different from person to person, but the majority sees it as a deity who is creating everything and is also controlling the destiny of one. This is an average perspective in your planet, if I am correct. Okay, well, go ahead. The way we see it is also a creator, but it is not a complex personality. It is more of an energy of creation, something that has great amounts of physical energy and disperses it all at once to be able to have many other smaller parts connecting with each other to create more. And this energy creates, it gives us our consciousness, it gives us our soul, and it gives us our existence. But it doesn't dictate the values, ideas, working ethics, or mindset of our people. What it does is it feeds us our own will to do so. I see. And do you have competitions, sports? We have various games. Competition isn't a proper word. We try to bring out the best in ourselves, and by doing this, we all compete with each other. But the idea of losing, winning, even though it is a great idea to establish who has won, who wins is not the important idea here. It is how much you have been able to grow within one event or within one competition. I see. Do you travel outside your planet? Yes, we travel to many solar systems around our area, but it is not as complex as some of the entities you've spoken to before. We are not at this point of consciousness yet. If we are being told correctly, this will happen soon, but we have to go through our growth and development before we get to this point. So how do you travel far? We travel to other systems and crafts that we have manufactured, one that uses compressed air, maybe nitrogen, oxygen, one of these elements. I am not sure which is called in your race, but it is compressed very highly and ignited. Not in a liquid form, but in a compressed gas form. And what is your job? For my job personally, it is to deliver things that people need. For instance, if someone from the other town on the other side of our planet needs something, my job would be to take the transport and take as much of it as they need. If they are in need of a certain kind of food, we would bring it to them. If they are in need of something else, we will bring it to them, and they will bring it to us. Even though the towns are separated by half of the planet, we are still very highly connected to all of them. And why do you travel? Doesn't technology take care of either creating things around them or to take care of the transportation itself? Well, we have technology to take care of the needs that we have, but we are also making these things. So when we are doing something that is of a specific uniqueness that they have not come around to getting that yet, then we will bring it to them. So it is not like you bring them either food or clothing. We can bring them food, but it is usually food that is only available on our side of the planet. All right, do you wear clothes? Yes, we wear garments that are made from a cloth from a small animal. I want to try to show you a similarity with your, what is it, a worm that produces silk maybe? This would be the best if it is nothing like a worm. It is more like a smaller animal. I'm trying to find much information in this man's head, and it is a little hard to navigate. Treb is helping me do this. Oh, so do men and women look the same? Like the hair? Do all have hair? Do all have 5 fingers? Yes, and the majority are very small things as this. We all have different features, but yes, all the same body style, general height, and build, very similar. Do you get paid for your job? No, we do the job because we wish to help those who do not wish to do that, as they help us, as all of us help each other. Have you been onto Earth? No, that is a little outside. There has been further travelings than your planet, but it is usually done by other races that understand the further traveling. But there was no need ever to come to Earth. Even for those who are explorers of Earth of further areas, perhaps it wasn't in their interest to see your planet yet. And how did you get the invitation to share a message with us? There is an entity that you know as Treb that connects to a few of the people that lives here, and there was an expression of someone who wanted to speak to Earth, and many of us volunteered, but I was the first one. Oh, did you have a competition about who was going to talk? No. But if any more would have joined, I'm sure there would have had to I'm sure there would have to have been a better way, maybe some kind of event take place about who would be the volunteer. How many volunteered? Around 3,000 or 4,000. Whoa, that's a lot. I was there next to the man who made the announcement. I touched the man first, and he understood that I wished to come and speak to you. So, very good. I guess we are close to the time where you will be able to share with us your message. So feel free. Just so you know, we are going to share this message with those who will find a way into it through law of attraction in order for us to learn from your race that is certainly more advanced than ours, considering you already don't have wars anymore. You don't have money, society, you don't have government. I mean, by that alone, we know you are much more advanced and that you can travel to other solar systems too. Indicates that. But yeah, it is used for us, very important to hear what other races have to say. The floor is yours. To those of you on Earth who wish to listen, for those of you who are drawn here, there is a reason that you have come. It is because you are looking for growth. Most of you have many great understandings of the ideas that are shared, but some of you have a hard time finding the way to apply what you've learned into the momentum of your race. You are trying to find a way where your singular actions can affect all. I wish to let you understand that this is very possible by only doing what you need inside. Many do not see that one action can affect many, but this is the way that it works, to our understanding. That once you have become at peace with yourself, then you are able to be with peace at all surrounding you. Once you become at peace with the local area of surroundings, you will be able to venture further out. Once you do this, you will have an understanding and accepting towards all things that you come across. Whether it is used to be good or bad or indifferent in your mind, using this idea of the freedom to accept all things around you, you are able to move forward in a greater fashion. You can take ideas and use them in your life, but the point of your planet is that our understanding is that you have trouble to apply these things. Well, if you have come this far, then obviously you are able to move forward. You would not have come to a place of this in your consciousness unless you were able to accept certain ideas. So, let us help you with a certain idea that we have for applying these things. For instance, the idea of judgment is something that we understand is very hard for your people to have. It is very hard to accept things that are not like you. From the understanding of Treb that even those who believe that they are very understanding in your race still have ideas of being able to not fully accept those who are not accepting. And this is in itself a judgment. You are judging those who can't accept others. This is still not a level that you can apply. So what you do is you take this mindset, place it in the front of your mind, and when people talk to you, give you ideas that are different to you. Collect these ideas and do not judge them. It is very important that you do not judge them. Place these ideas all at the front of your mind, and then give the idea or expression. If this is okay or good to me, I would not have worried of it. If it was bad to me, it would have repelled me from not being able to contact it or to come into connection with it. So, what is it about my own thoughts and beliefs that can make this not appealing or different for me? And study these ideas. We understand that you all have a meditative state that you use to try to connect to yourselves. Understanding this is very great, but also understand that this is only a tool. That once you come in line with what you truly are as a human being, as a person from Earth, but more than that, the soul, you will be able to confront all of these things in a conscious mindset. One that places you able to walk from area to area in concern, determined to make differences with these, differentiate the ideas that you have for what is good and bad, without having to go into the meditative state. There is a simple clue to what comes from places other than your heart. This is the struggle for you. If it gives any negative feelings, ones of fear, ones of anxiety, then this is not a normal process of your soul. Remove this idea and come to an understanding or peacefulness in your mind. Once you have done this, then you are able to accept the ideas of judging the ideas and the ideas of judging circumstances. Other ways to possess the idea of being able to apply thing. See, the the grammar's messed up. Other ways to possess the idea of being able to apply a thing is to be able to live every moment in happiness. If you are not doing this, then you are not applying the beliefs that you make to believe that you are happy. When you say, I am a happy person because I have not done this or that or this, but you don't seem to feel happy, then you are only fooling yourself into believing that your belief systems are not wrong. Judging these very harshly will still do you no good. When you look down on yourself in these ways, it only brings more frustration and anger to you. So try to understand and not judge you on your own judgment, even your own thoughts within this judgment. Using this will help you pursue true happiness within yourself. Now, understanding that your planet goes through many hardships of war and financial means. This is something that you are trying to work out now, and this would appear to be why there is so much frustration amongst your people as a whole. Being tired of something and expressing it in a vocal manner or with your actions are the very first sign that you are really tired of something. So speaking of it, making actions on this shows that you are going in the right way. Act on the ideas of what you think is not right is only adding to that in a way. If you try fight it head first, you are only bringing more fight within the battle. But when you look at it and you see it and you are tired of it and you make the changes in your mind of what not to do any longer and make that change using the terminology that I have just explained, using that discernment process, then you are able to do it and not have a fight within you. If you focus on worrying of these things too much, it will tend to draw your soul into the negative ideas and the negative energies that sometimes come with the releasing of the negative consciousness of a third density entity. And believe me, from generations back in stories that we were handed down, spoken and written, this was not so long ago in our past that we were in this process as well. Fighting to be better, and in this process seeing that we have fought to get better, and this is what have held us from progressing. This is what made the true change of our people. There has to be no fight. It is only a simple decision that puts you in whatever place that you wish to be. And I hope that you are able to encompass these ideas to you in your daily life and as a race and whole, because we understand that if you were brought to us, it was for a reason. It was for the ability to connect that knowledge that we have to share with you. And I thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much for your sharing. I mean, the other thing that I wanted to ask before is, are you in the future? What timeline are you in? We are approximately 500 years or so in the future. Understood. And how tall are you? 5 feet and a half. Now, how do you feel now that you have spoken with someone directly, from a human being directly, and after giving your message? I feel very happy and excited and grateful, but I am still very curious to see certain aspects of humanity. Is there a way that I would be able to ask you a few questions? Jefferson pretty much says that the timing is constraint is, we don't have a whole lot of time and we have many other people to interview, that he could ask Treb or anything that he needs to know, because Treb knows pretty much everything about us. But he said you could ask, one question. I will say this, that if you have trust that Treb or Yeti has a complete comprehension of the ideology and your mindset as a race, then I will leave you to bear with your time constraints as you need. Well, you can ask me one question. Here's the question. The most interesting for me would be how you are able to live in such high velocity changing of emotions of the ones around you, even if you are not one that jumps from deep sadness to great happiness in short periods of time. How do you deal with others who do this? His response, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how they relate to each other at all, but this is what he said. Well, I think that I will try to answer as short as I can, but I think that the reason why we can do this is because we are moved by a feeling of brotherhood in a deeper sense, because down there we know we are spirits down there. We know we are immortal, and down there we all have a spirit guide whispering in our ears. Even though most of us are not aware of that, we have a spirit guide showing us the way, whispering in our ears where to go, what to do, and that in the end, no matter what the outcome is, everything is going to be great and everything is going to be all right. So with that, we are able to trust. We are able to go through the difficulties of life, and we are able to put out not only that the human race of Earth is strong in that sense, but then because we are in this one of the worst situations ever, other races can be too. That is it. He was grateful for the answer, even though the answer to me didn't really explain or give him a very good response to that. I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me, but hey, I'll move on. So yes, thank you very much. We are very grateful. Much love to you. Thank you. Goodbye. The second race is the Plono humans. Planet Plono, lifespans 1,000 years. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Prakatau. Age is 586 years old. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, who are you? My name is Lutha. I'm just going to say Lutha. So what is your constellation? I am not sure. Give us 1 second to reevaluate with Treb or Yeti. A silence for a while. He said it is the leg of the Canis Minor. Okay, and what is the name of your planet? The name of our planet is Plono. Do you have a solar system like ours? It is not the same, but it is very similar in the way that it is made. How many stars do you have? Just one. How many planets do you have? We have 6. Which planet is yours? The fourth. The fourth away from the sun, right? Yes, not from the opposite side. Right, what do you look like? We are the same kind as you, the humanoid structure. We are around 4 feet tall. We have dark hair. We have very, very, very white skin. Not white like you guys think of white, but more of a kind of that might hurt your eyes kind of white if you look too long. What is the color of your eyes? Green. Is everybody like that? No, there are different kinds. There's green, blue. Some have dark black color eyes. I see, but the skin is the same color on everyone. Oh, okay. And how long do you live in your physical body? It can be up to 1,000 years at times. And how old are you? About 586 or 87, maybe, in your years. So he's 586 years old. And what density are you in? We are from the 4th density. From the way that you guys understand the densities, it is 4th. What do you know about Earth? We know that your race is pretty special for many reasons, that you guys go crazy sometimes with each other and with other people. But for the most part, you are pretty loving and you try to do the things the right way. There are a lot of races that are watching for you guys now. Oh, whoa, how many people are there on your planet? About 1 billion. And is your planet as big as ours? Oh no, it is a little bit bigger, probably about twice, maybe 2.5 your size. Do you have governments? We have a society that is mostly of elders. And do you mean that the elders organize the ways of distribution, or that you don't have a government to oversee that at all? Oh no, those things aren't looked at. The elders are ones who help us. They guide us when we come to confrontational parts within our own journeys. Let's say I am going down the street and I don't know which way to go, so I would ask them. They just help us with our basic life issues. I see, but that example is very simple because you usually follow your heart, right? Oh yes, that was just a joking around thing. What was the last issue that you had to look for? To your elders for? For me, myself personally, yeah. I struggled with ideas of connecting to entities that some say could be negative. I understand that they are in their path and that that is their own way that is separate from the rest of connection. But I feel the urge to help them and to reach out to them. And even though I understand that this is not what they want or need, I still feel propelled to do this. So I speak to the elders about this and wanted to know what they thought. And what did they say? No, 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 no? No, they said that if I wished to reach out to them and if it was truly in my heart to do what I wish to do, then to do it, to try to help them. But don't expect that they will embrace you, that they are in a separate path for a reason. The probability of me to even come into confrontation with them would be very small. Hey, what is the name of your race? The Plono. Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah. Are your cities like ours? We have dwellings that are connected together, but nothing like a city, maybe like a small village. And transportation? We have various degrees of it. For our planet, we have big things that carry lots of stuff on at once. We've got smaller ones for our own personal needs, and then we have many varieties of crafts that go outside of ours to other planets. Are these powered by oil, gasoline, fossil fuel? Oh no. I understand this is a big thing with your race, but we use light and transfer it into energy, because the star that we are is in very bright. I see. And what about the education? How does that work? I don't think I understand the question. How do you learn things? Oh, do all things learn things? Laughter. We go to classes. Oh, that is not the way we do. The way we would do the similar thing, learning, it is to be connected out to the watch. I don't know what that means. To experience and try new things and see what we like. So do you stay with your family for how long? Or do you belong to society? How does that work? We could do whatever we feel is most in our heart to do. Okay, so how are you guys born? It is a sexual thing, much as your race is, but we don't tend to have as long of periods that you hold on to them. So I think it is 9 or 10 months for your race, right? Yes. Yeah, it's about half of that. So you come out quick, huh? Oh, yes. And once you are born, how long does it take for you to grow fully? Probably 90, 100, depending on each individual. Days, right? What is this? Probably 90, 100 to 110 days, right? Oh no, for a full-size body in years, we are not very big when we are fully grown. So there's a lot of growing. It is a very gradual thing. Oh, so when you're 30 years old, how tall were you? About 3, maybe 3.1. Okay, so you grow a lot initially and then you stick. You keep growing really small amounts of size each season or whatever. It is pretty quick at the beginning and then it is very, very well distributed after. Right, and are you in the future? In your time, it is about 1,000 years behind you. Are you in the past? To your idea of time, but you are more evolved than us. Oh yes, technology basis. Oh yes. How do you see God? That way that we see God is that one big creator, huge, not some people think in terms of never ending in the size, but it is not that big. It is as big as all the universes put together, which is still pretty big compared to what we are, but this big God gives us all energy and it breaks it up into various amounts. We are not sure of the fraction, but it is something that we keep working on to see how many universes exactly. And once it breaks down every universe, just like every cell in your body has a different function, so do those. So we are little cells in the big creator's body. Whoa, so does he punish you or give you trinkets for Christmas? Giggles. No, that is not what we do. No. We are a function then itself because we are part of it and a specific module or specific breaking off point. The universe has its own function and we all do as we are supposed to gain the function to better the creator, just like a cell. Okay, just to clarify, I'm not making light of God. It is that some people's belief systems are such that make us really doubt if they are serious. Here on earth, it is just like that. But okay, so do you pray to God? No, we connect to the highest thing that we can. Some of us connect to God quite frequently, and we all do it in a certain way by just going around day to day, living on what we do. That is a kind of connection that is good enough. So God is all in all. Yeah, we are part of it, and everything that is around is a smaller part of God's cellular breaking. By the voice and speech pattern, you seem to be a very happy person and have strong energy. By the way we talk. Do you have that personality? Any reason in particular? Giggles. I am not sure of the exact reason, but I like to be happy. This is what we do. Right. But I mean in a way that like you are like ready, you seem to be like going somewhere and really like, did you just drink coffee? Giggles. You are aware, you are area awakened, you are lightened up. This is how our race functions. We are quite quick on the feet. We like to think fast, talk fast, move fast, and the connection that I have with Treb is a very good one. He's a very old friend of mine. Oh, do you have competitions, sports, games? We have activities, but I don't think they are competitions or games. They are just activities that we all do together. Whatever the fun tend to be is what we are doing. For instance, 40 or 50 years ago, there was a big gathering at the water area, and we were all throwing gigantic balls that have air in the middle, and outside sacks are made or something almost like a rubber to you, and we were all bouncing back and forth to each other, and that was very fun. Do you have cats? No. Anything close to that? No, the animals that we have are all airborne animals. Like a flying cat? It is nothing like this. A bird then? Somewhat like that. It has the wings and then a long tail and it has 4 feet. So maybe it is kind of a cat. Laughter. I am not sure how you see it. Do you guys travel outside of your planet? Oh yes, we travel very far. How do you do that? We go into our crafts, the crafts that we use in the technology way. We absorb much of the light, and we have great storage systems for the energy at once, and we are able to use that to start it, and at once we go from there to where we need. It is kind of an instant fashion when you are speaking to Treb or Yitney. He describes an idea that you go and you can visit within your own traveling as an experience. This is the best that we are able to do. We have to hover through space many times to go from point A to point B. Oh, I see. And what is your job in your race? We don't have a specific destination or a specific thing to do. We do whatever is helpful to others around us. Are you aware of the race Platanagana? This is familiar to me, yes. Now I understand Treb or Yitney, yes. Go pay me a visit, yeah? I'd love to meet you. What? Go pay me a visit there. Yes, now I understand, Giggles, what you mean. Treb or Yitney explained that there's a future and past, now I understand. Yeah, okay, will you think about it? Yes, perhaps this is a good idea to try one day. If I am ever in the area of the Pleiades region, I will stop and give you a visit. I'm assuming they're talking about Jefferson having another fractal of himself as a Pleiadian or whatever that race that he just mentioned is. And how did you get this invitation? I am not sure if they need to give me one. If I am ready to come there, I am sure they are ready to have me, right? Right. How did you get this invitation to talk to me? Oh, the invitation for this. As I explained, Treb is very close to me. We have been old friends, and he asked for a race that is looking for like humans, so I decided to grab onto this immediately and speak to you. Oh, I see. So there was not other people who wanted to talk to us? Oh, I'm sure there are many here that would, but they were listening now. Say hello to them. You have about 1 billion hands that wave back to you. Whoa, okay. So now I'll give you the floor for us to share with us from your people something that you would like to share with us. Okay. All right, thank you. Hello, Planet Earth. It is very great to meet up with you today. I want to talk to you about a couple ideas that can help you pursue happiness. When you are going down a road and you feel resistance, you have to jump over this resistance by understanding what it is that is resisting you. When this resistance is made to you, you have to sit and examine. What is it that is getting in the way of this progress? Is it always accompanied by feelings that are usually negative? Ones that aren't very positive for you? And this is the sign. This is what says this is going to block you from being able to do what you want. So when you do this, you have to examine it, think about it, and move on. When you sit and dwell on this, then it becomes issues of manifesting more road obstacles. You have to understand your existence is very quick. You can be as quick as you wish to in your own existence by changing. It is understood that your ideas and your planet goes from one to one to one, back and forth, sad and happy, mad and glad, and you can do this very quickly. Well, this is an example of how you should act throughout your whole existence. Your existence can be taken from a bad point to a happy point in a very quick way. So this is what you are capable to do if you set your mind to it and believe that you are capable of doing this. Jumping from the negative ideas to the positive idea very quickly is a great way to avoid these complications. Understanding my reality is what I make it at any point that I make it, and I can change it right now. This is the greatest way to do that. Living in happiness is very easy to do. You find what excites you, and you follow with no discrimination. No complications of ideas of what is wrong and what is right. No complications of ideas of this is my highest excitement or my lowest excitement, because you already know. You will be very happy when you do it. If you are not doing something that makes you happy, remember what it is that makes you happy and do that. Following that excitement is the greatest way to go. You are able to explore different avenues of what is making you happy. And doing this is a very great way to keep yourself in the most up to light and expression of energy that you have. So going from this to the next is very easy, but if one makes you very happy, stay with this. You do not have to jump unless you want to. That is also the other point of making your own way, is understanding you have an option to make a new one or stay with one that makes you very happy. If you're already this way, exploring the happiness can be very complex if you let it, but it can also be very easy, and most of your race right now is dealing with just this problem. Exact ideas of how to be happy, it is easy. All you have to do is be happy. Know what makes you happy and do it. Understanding ideas of economy, money, all these things, but understand that there are millions of people on your planet right now that are very, very happy, that do not have one penny. It is because of the idea of humans tends to be the only way you can be happy is by having money. When in fact, the only way truly to be happy is to have no money at all. Not meaning that you are broken, but meaning that you don't have to use money. So let me straighten this idea, or you can run away with it. Giggles. So going through these ideas is very, very well. And it is very easy to be happy. All you have to do is live in that love and excitement and be who you want to be, how you want to be it, and let nothing stand in your way by giving it any power. If you feel other people are doing this to you, I could be happy if it wasn't for other people. They're only testing you to see what truly makes you happy. They're only a part of you anyway. So when you say relationships that can make me happy, remove that from your brain, because you are not truly stopped by anyone else. Only the way that you let them react with you and you with them. And if you follow all of these ideas and jump to whatever makes you most happy, you'll always be happy. And this is what we hope to share with you. Whoa, that was excellent. Thank you very much. Yes, I hope that it was very great for you. It was. By the way, how are you connecting right now to us? Are you sitting in a butterfly position, having your hands closed and the eyes closed? How are you connecting to us? No, I am walking around doing a couple of things. I haven't perfected it quite as some has on my planet, can do literally 5 or 6 things at once with their mind and body, but I am able to walk and talk. Fantastic. Okay, we are approaching the end of our communication. How did you enjoy giving us the message connecting to our energy? I was very happy. It is the state that I prefer to be in, and giving it to you hoping that even one person can read this, hear this, or do whatever they want to experience it, that it will make them half as happy as I am too, and that will make my happiness even more happy. Right, let's make a wish that whenever someone reads this, a rainbow shows up in your planet. All right, let's apply this to the idea of connecting to everyone who connects to what I'm saying now. Yes, lovely. Now, do you have any questions particular, most interesting from you to me? Not that I am the representative of Earth, but perhaps you have some idea of how I think my answer. Instead of approaching it that way, that puts you as a representation, as you said you are not, let me put you as this individual entity. What is the greatest thing that makes you excited? It is to not only be able to realize without a resistance that there is intelligent life outside of Earth, but to communicate with them and have this information to be useful for others who will come after me once they start realizing what I have realized a couple of years ago. That is it. I think that is what makes me most happy and is my highest excitement. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Great. So yeah, what are your surroundings like there right now? Well, right now I am in the midst of the village that we live in. It is very bright, very many people that are dancing around, maybe not physically the way you understand dancing, but they are dancing around inside. They are focused on the conversation right now and are very happy to hear the information that you gave. Fantastic. So thank you very much to all you. May God bless your planet. Giggles. As I said earlier, 1 billion people are telling you goodbye too. Fantastic. Whenever you wish, pay me a visit. I will try to pay you a visit in one more area of your consciousness. How is this? That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. All right. So that's all that I'm going to read for this chapter. I thought that was really wonderful. I find it fascinating and wonderful. Very simple, of advice. We all tend to, I guess, from being in the habitual patterns of our past, do things that don't make us happy because we feel stuck in those things. It's a great time that we are evolving to sit with and be in happiness and excitement instead of continuing in the same habitual patterns of unhappiness, right? So thank you all for joining me tonight or today, whichever you're in, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you.